here with Madison. I know you told me this morning about the dress thing with her, and we tried to get some kind of reaction from her by waving some towels and things by her playfully not having it. And I did try some other toys with her. She's kind of over it, so I'm going to use food, and we're going to be going over leave it. So basically, when we ask our dog to leave it, we want to make sure that the dog leaves that item forever. They're never to touch that item ever. And when we do ask them to leave it, we need to make sure that in our heads we envision something that we really, really don't want them to get into. For example, if medication falls on the floor, the dog sees it, you want to make sure that you can rely on your dog to heed the command, leave it, and not touch the medication. So when you get really serious in your head, it's a life or death situation, what comes out when you say your commands is something more assertive and very, very serious. Leave it! You want to make sure that she understands, whoa, hey, I'm not going to go get that because my mom is really serious about me touching this thing. So, and I have some food, and I do have her treats inside of my pouch here. And I'm going to be using the food as a distraction. We're going to be asking her to leave it. Alright, so she had a lot of exercise. This is a perfect time to work with her. She's willing and focused. Yes, you are. Yeah. Alright, so what I'm going to do first is we're just going to go over the walking again. And I know she walks very well when she's not excited. But we're going to be working on the walking, and while we're walking, I will be having the treats on the ground, and I will be giving her her own treats as a reward. And again, when we do ask our dog to leave it, the dog is never to touch that item. So even though it's food that falls on the ground, we want to make sure that we don't treat them with the food that has been on the ground. So always want to make sure we have a different piece of food for her as a reward, and that she knows that she's never to touch those items that fell on the ground or whatever you would not want her to have. A dress, for example, a piece of material that you find it really intrigues her. Practicing at home with something like an old dress or something that you know it'll get her excited, and maybe she'll want to bite it or something like that. But the main thing, what we want to do is stop her when she's thinking about doing that. So when she's thinking about biting something or going after a dress or something that she may be wearing, when you see her getting fixated on the dress, address that immediately. So as soon as you see her getting focused on whatever it is you do not want her to be focused on, leave it. Make sure you're very serious about saying leave it. So as soon as you see her eyes and ears, oh, what is that? I'm thinking about going to get it. Leave it. Making sure that you get that as soon as she's thinking about it. All right, Maddie. Yeah. Good girl. Okay, so now I'm going to be introducing the food, and when I ask her to leave something on a walk, what I want to do is make sure that when I see her looking at that object, I want to address that, leave it, making sure that she understands she needs to leave the item alone. If she does not, we're going to do a slight little book with some little tugs on the side. We're going to make some horrible noises like a or a no. We're going to be really loud and Again, you want to make sure that your point comes across, that you're very serious. She is to leave that item alone and not to touch it. So she gets fixated. We're going to ask her to leave it. If she does decide to go after the item, we're going to correct her. No, or and you just a couple little tugs there. And what this is going to do is redirect her attention. So we're acting like another dog. So when she let's say wolves are in a pack and another wolf goes to correct another wolf, obviously they use their mouths. And while we're not using our mouth on Maddie, we're going to be utilizing the lead. And when we do this motion and we get a little tight and we pull it just a little bit, we're not going to pull it back a lot, just a little tug off to the side. This is going to snap her out of her fixation for the most part, and we're able to redirect her attention back to us and then reward her for leaving that item. Good, leave it. Good, leave it, Maddie. Good, leave it. That was very good. She did look at the item and she was thinking about going to get it. Ask her to leave it. She pulled a little bit to go towards the item, so I wanted to correct her, giving her a couple of leave it. She responded very well. It is difficult to leave a nice big piece of food, especially when a dog is walking by it. So this is something very, very useful. Maybe it's not food on a walk, perhaps it's a dead bird or a dog that she wants to see at a house or something, and you just want to keep on walking. So this is very, very good command to be able to utilize in everyday life. Also, when you're working on this in regards to stuff like food and things in the house, when you're not walking her, practice. You can even do it yourself. You don't have to have another person there. But practice having her on the lead, placing an item down at the same time, asking her to leave it. And when she does, she'll be sitting there. Yes, good, leave it. And then you can continue that. Proceed to get farther away as you trust that she's not going to immediately go after the item. So that's how you can do it at home. On a walk, we'll be doing that right now. Let's practice one more time as the food is still on the ground here, and I'm going to be tossing another one off to the side. We want to make sure that our dogs can walk ignoring whatever noise, craziness, smells that might be going on. We want to have a pleasant experience on our walk. Yep. Good girl. Good. Oh, good girl. Good, leave it. Okay, let's try that again. Leave it. Leave it. Good, leave it. Good, leave it. Good, leave it. Oh, yeah. Good, leave it. That was very good. We came by the food a little bit slower. She had time to look at it, wanted to correct her. Leave it. She responded very, very well. Leave it. Yes, good, leave it. good job. Of course, if you have stuff at home that really gets her excited, if it's possible, if you want to bring it here so we can work on Leave It or with certain things that you may have at home. If not, no worries. She did such a good job. And of course, repetition is the key to training. You want to be consistent with everything that you do. So just remember, when you see her getting focused on an item, we want to correct that. Tell her to leave it. If she does not leave it, we want to or no. Make sure that she understands that we're serious. If necessary, do a couple little tugs, right up on the side. Leave it. And then when she finally does decide to follow through, yes, good, leave it, and you're able to reward her. And we always want to make sure that we end our trainings on a positive note. So if at home she's doing something that maybe you can't get her to follow through with, switch to a different command, something that's really simple that you know she can follow through with, and then end the training there. So she did a very good job though. Oh, baby girl. All right, this has been Nicole with Miss Madison, going over Leave It on a walk, and we'll see you later. Bye. Come on, Maddie.